Welcome back. Today's woodworking project is going to be this small candle holder. You can see like this, and we're going to make another one to match it. These are really nice, really good little sellers too. We got a thing to go to tomorrow where we're going to sell some wood crafts and stuff. So, but yeah, real simple design. You can make these a little bit longer if you want. You can make them a little bit wider. We're going to go ahead and give you our measurements today, how to build this thing, and they're all made out of just your regular fence boards. Now, if you would like, you can make these out of 1-bys if you have that type of wood around, scraps. Some of your fence boards, they come in a 5/8 thickness and they come into a 3/4 thickness. So that means you can use either wood, so it doesn't matter. So, okay, let's go ahead and get to the saw and we're going to start cutting up this. Okay, what we're going to need for this board, we're going to have to make sure it's at least 32 inches. I got 32 inches. I think you only need about 28-inch long, but if you can leave it 30 inches or longer than 28, that'd be fine, because you got to cut these boards in half. So the measurement on it's 13.5 and 13.5, so 13.5 by 13.5, and that gives you what, 26, 27 inches. So you need about 28 inches long. Okay, so make sure this board's 28 inches long or even longer. First thing I'll do is cut it down, mark it. We're going to go ahead and start with a 2-inch. We're going to do a 2-inch cut, and we're going to do 2 of these 2-inch cuts. Okay. Let's see what I do with my thing. Here it is. Okay. Okay, we got 2 of them, 2 inches, like I said. We'll put them off to the side. Now you get this one here left over. I just go ahead and keep it because I think it's like 1.25 inches. And that's basically what we need for the 2 more pieces. So just keep this scrap piece with you. We're going to need 1 more piece. I already got it cut, but we need it 4.5. So it's going to have to be 4.5 inches wide and 3.5 inches this way. So I just want to make sure it's longer. So make sure the board's longer than 3.5 inches. That way you'll be able to cut it on the next saw, unless you're going to cut it on a table saw. But 4.5 inches. So let's go ahead and go over to the next saw. Okay, first of all, we're going to need to do is let's go ahead and put a couple of these in back. I'm going to cut the 2-inch. I'm going to cut 2 at a time, and I'm going to do those 13.5 inches. So I need to cut them 13.5. Now you can go ahead, if you like, just cut them like this, and then that way you're going to have an extra piece left over, which that's great because for your next candle holder. Okay, now we have the 1.25 inches. Okay, now this is going to be, we're going to cut this down. I do like that knot, so we're going to leave the knot in there, so that makes a little character to it. But we're going to need to cut these down to 5.25. That's what I need. I need 5.25. So let's go this way. 5.25. Need 2 of them. Okay, so you got 1, 2, 3 of these, and these will be the 2 cross braces like this. Okay, and then we still have to cut the candle holder, the little ledge. Okay, the next one, this is the one that was we just cut. It's going to be where the candle is going to be, and we're going across 4.5 inches, and we're going to come down 3.5 inches. I'm going to mark that. Okay, just keep the other piece. I'm going to go ahead and mark it, and then go ahead and cut it here. Okay, now what you can do on this one, we can just cut it on a 45 degree angle. That would be just enough, and then you can guess out where you would like to have it. I say I would bring it on a 45, maybe a 1 inch here, like this, and then bring down a 1 inch on this side. Okay, and then just go ahead and cut it on a 45. So just bring it right there. Be real careful with these saws. And basically the same way on this side. I'll just turn it over and I'll do a 1 inch over here. And there you go. You got a nice little cut right there. Okay, let's head back over to the table. Okay, what I like to do is just maybe just slide these up a little bit here. Okay, make sure we got a straight edge. Let's get it straight first. Let's make sure it's kind of squared up there. Okay. Okay, and we just shove this middle one up 3/4 inch. Now, what you could do is something like this here, a little piece of wood, 3/4 inch, so you could just bring it down and butt it up against it, you know, just kind of level it up with your finger in the back like this. And then they give you 3/4 inch here without using a ruler if you got a piece of wood 3/4 inches wide. So that makes it nice. Okay. And so now the next thing is putting these on. What we need to do is bring these up, and I have them on this other one. That's 1.5 inches. So I got 1.5 inch here. So it's a 1.5. A little mark right there. Little mark here, 1.5. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing up here. We're just going to use it. We're just going to go with these 2 outside boards. Okay. And then we're going to line this up with our 1.5 inch mark, like that. And then go ahead and put some glue on that. If you can, try to hold it together. If you've got a clamp, because these boards always seem to shrink after you use them. So let me see what I got here. I always like mine look pretty decent there. Okay, try it one more time. I think I got it off where I hit it. Nope, that's good. And make sure you use 1 inch staples. Now we need to do the top, same way. Square it out a little bit. Now I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to put a few staples in it. Pull it together here. Let's put there you go, like that, right there. Okay, so this is our thing to hold the candle here. We just want to make sure it's even out there. You can look at it, or you can go ahead and measure if you want to measure it. I got 3/4 here. Let's do the blocking spacer. 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch. Okay, that's where I want it. The next thing we need to do is make the little round circle piece that you're going to use to hold the candle. Let me show you on the other one, and then we'll go over and cut it. It's this little round piece right here, and they're simple to make. You just have to have a few really simple tools to make this. And one thing about the candle holder, if you don't use a candle this size, like the size I'm using, and I'll go ahead and, well, I'm going to give it to you in the size bit. So the size bit is what this is going to be to fit into. Now if you want it smaller, you have to change that size bit. I'll show you here in a minute. But we're going to make that piece right there, that round ring right here. Okay, so let's go to the drill press and cut that piece there. Okay, first thing we're going to need is a piece of scrap wood. Okay, and then I am using a hole saw bit here, and this one is 2 3/8. That's how I'm getting that size on the outside. If you want that wider here, or you know, a bigger outside dimension, then you're going to have to go with a bigger bit like this. Okay, this is what you need for this. Now I got them a lot bigger than that, and makes it nice when you're doing certain types of wood work. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to cut. Make sure it's not too. You don't want this knot here. You want to definitely stay away from knot with these hole saw bits. You want it long enough that you're going to be able to hold on to it. Okay. You want to watch this. Don't kind of throw you around and hurt you. So we don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and do it now. Just cut it slow. Okay, now it's up inside of here, so we're going to have to get it out of there. And they do leave little holes here, so you can kind of pry it. There you go. So this way you got, now it's rough and everything, but we're going to end up sanding that up a little bit. So let's go ahead and get that center hole drilled. Now for the center, I'm going to use, this is the one I told you that you're going to have to decide about your candle size. This one is 1 3/8. But if you want the hole smaller, you got to use a smaller bit. And if you're going to use a wider, you're going to have to make it a little bit wider. I wouldn't go too much bigger than this unless you make this piece here, bigger. If you make it bigger, then your hole saw's bit's got to be bigger. Then your this one here, your Forstner bit's got to be bigger. But if you make it smaller, you can still use the regular hole saw. Now, the thing about this, you got to be careful with it. You don't want to put your hands on this and hold that when that bit's going around. So we're going to do it this way. And we're going to put a clamp on it. I'm not going to put my hands over there by the thing. Let me turn it this way. Get it nice and straight. Clamp it down. And then we're going to do it that way, okay? Okay, let me give you a tip to run these bits. You're cutting wood and you really want to run them as slow as you can, not real slow, but don't run them on high speed. You'll burn them up real fast. Okay, this is what we got, and then we just take it to the sander, sand it up real nice, and use it. That's what we need. Okay, if you don't have a sander, I know a lot of people don't have sanders like this, but you can just sand this by hand. I'm just going to sand off a little bit of the edges so it won't be, so rough. So. Okay, all we need to do is center it out right here where we like to have it, and then glue and staple it on there. Okay, let's put a little candle in it. There you go. Now, one more thing's left is we're going to make this a little heart. Hope you can see that little heart right here. And then we're going to make that here on the saw. So let's go over to the jigsaw and scroll saw, and we'll scroll that out. Now, all I did was I made one. It don't have to be perfect. You want a little bit of something in it, and just cut you out a heart, whatever size you would like to have. You can make this bigger, or if you like, make it a little bit smaller. I think this size here is pretty good. That's probably about an inch, or maybe 2 inches across, maybe 2.5 inches. But if you like, you can make this heart a little bit bigger. Let's go ahead and cut it. Okay, let's take it back over and put it on. Heart's all done, so let's go ahead and glue and staple it on there. I'm not going to make a big fuss about where to put it. I'm just going to get a little bit of a measurement off of it. So I'm down about a 1 inch, and I'm going to put it right there. It looks great. Get a little mark there. put glue on it. I only put one staple on it because normally I put glue on it. The glue holds really well. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to spray this. Now, first, no, we need to go ahead. What I do is I take a little bit of sandpaper and then I just kind of sand the sides here, kind of round it off. You can use a palm sander on this if you like. Okay, we're going to paint. We got a cardboard down on the table. Of course, a nice fresh piece of cardboard. And then we're going to paint our little item here. It's always nice to have, you know, something underneath of them just to kind of keep it up off the cardboard, just in case it decides to stick. Today we're going to be using two colors. They're from Rust-Oleum Paint, and this is a French truffle. It's satin. We're going to use satin on everything we do because we like that dull color. And then this one here, we're going to use a little bit of a dark walnut. It's a satin too. Always make sure you shake these cans up very well, because we've been shaking them for a while. There you go. And we're going to start out with the French truffle. We're going to start out with it. Turn it around. Okay, we're going to let that dry, and then we're coming back and we're going to put a different color. I'm going to put this dark walnut on it. So, okay, let's give it a little time to dry. We'll be right back. What we need to do is we're going to put a little bit of walnut on it. Now, you can put as much as this you like, but I just like to put a little bit. Let's turn it around this way and just spray a little bit on the sides here. Just kind of give it that little bit of look on the sides. Okay, let's put a little bit up here. Right here. Okay, that looks about right there. That looks good. And then we'll wait for that to dry, and then we're going to come back and we're going to sand this, and I'm going to show you the last step of this candle thing, or candle holder. Okay. Okay, it should have plenty of time to dry, so it should be dry enough to touch. I take a little bit of sandpaper and just kind of sand off the edges here. Okay, let's see. Gonna get them set up. We have these things. Now we picked these up at let me think. I've been in a couple different stores to find a few things to decorate these. Michael's, I think it was at Michael's. You can find them there. They're just little, kind of like little, I don't know what you want to call them. We just picked them up. I had to restring them so they'll be a little bit smaller, so they'll fit where I wanted them to fit. Because they was a little bit bigger and cut them down. But there you go. You can pick them up any kind of craft you know, shop, like I said, Michael's or something like that. And then you could hook these up with just regular picture hangers, the little flat ones that run across. You know, you can use that. Or that's it. That's it for today. I'm pretty sure. I think I remember where I got them at is Hobby Lobby's where I got them at. It was like around $5 a piece. There's some different ones they have there, but like I said, Michael still has lots of different things you can go through and look. And whatever other craft shows, or not shows, but stores you have in your area, maybe check them out and see what they got, or order offline. I go through a lot. I go Amazon to go through a lot. But yeah, really simple, easy design. It took me more to make the video than it is to make these, and the video lasted a while. It shut off on me there, and I had to turn around and put a new battery in it to get it to go. But that's okay. That's it for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and maybe make you a set of these and sell them. It'd be great. Make a few bucks, or like I said, I always suggest you to make them and give them to a good friend or a family member, a grandmother or your mother or somebody that's very important in your life. Make these and give it to them. They'll love it. It'd be a great gift. And also, like I said, this time of year, it's good to make these things, kind of put them back, and that way you'll have them for Christmas. I mean, just a wonderful Christmas gifts. These are. I mean, these are great. So, okay, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Hit that like and also subscribe and share the video with other people. There might be somebody else that you know that would like to build these or build something that I make on this channel. So thanks for the support, and you guys have a great day, and thanks for watching.